Welcome. I think I got my Bluetooth off. Let me make sure. Jesus. You know what? This is what I'm gonna do. We'll come back to this. I want to make sure that I don't know if it's off or not. Alright, y'all give me 1 second. I gotta make sure my Bluetooth is off. Hold on. Let me flip it like this. Okay. Go ahead and get up. Alright, we back. I do apologize. Can y'all hear me? Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Before I get started, I just need to make sure y'all can hear me. Mic is good. You hear me perfectly. You can hear me over the truck. Alright? That's the key, is that can you hear me over the truck? Because the truck is running, okay? Can y'all hear me over there? We can hear you. Perfect. Shout out to everybody that's up in here. Red Duchess, what's going on, shawty? Hey, listen, Red Duchess, I'm about to give a couple of announcements real quickly before we get into our topic of when should you hire company drivers, okay? But real quickly, Red Duchess, since you in here, one of these announcements is going to be pertaining to you, all right? Make sure that y'all do hit the like button when you come in here. If you're new to my channel, please do consider subscribing. This is a great channel, in my opinion. No mean to toot my own horn, but it's a great channel. Learning, inspirational, motivational. That's what I do, okay? That's what I do. That's my focal point, all right? Once again, if you haven't hit the bell, that might be the reason why you're not getting notifications. Or when I go live, I get so many people say, I wish I could have caught this live. Maybe you should have hit the notification. Okay, it's the little bell right beside the word subscribe. Make sure that you hit it so that you can get notifications when I go live and you can interact in the live feeds or, be part of the video. Be part of the video and to get this content when it comes out. So then when I have Q&A, you can ask your questions, things of that nature. All right. So all that jazz out the way. Also make sure that you follow me on IG, which is Instagram, Loshawnparks. All right. Pretty simple, pretty plain. All right, we got all that out the way. Slide that off to the left. Red Duchess, a couple of announcements I do want to make, okay? The first announcement is this. People, if you are going to be a content creator, i.e. coming on YouTube, making videos, being a YouTuber, there's something I'm gonna need y'all to get together, okay? I try to watch a lot of y'all as much as possible that I can, especially that's within the trucking space, right? Because I just find it unique. I don't know, maybe that's weird, but it is what it is. But a pet peeve of mine, and I'm pretty sure it should be a pet peeve to a lot of people, is make sure that your mic is sounding good before you start your spill on things. Red Dutch, you know what I'm talking about, right? Make sure your mic is right before you start your whatever you're trying to convey, all right? I say that because I've been trying to watch people's videos, not only Red Dutchess, no shot on Red Dutchess only, but a lot of people that's in the trucking space that do YouTube videos. I try to watch their content. But let me tell you something. If your sound quality is everything, okay? What your picture quality looks like, all that. My thing is this. I don't care if you shoot it in 4K, all right? I don't care if you have the best quality video. If your sound quality, or I can't hear you, or people can't hear really what you're saying because you forgot to turn off your Bluetooth. A lot of YouTubers tend to forget to do that. They tend to forget to turn off the Bluetooth setting in their phone, and they get to talking, not realizing that, well, their sound is hooked up to their Bluetooth. And then they start sounding like this. Or it's really, really low, it's not clear, and it just sounds like you're muffled. Sound is key, okay? Sound is key. Or standing in the wind. Yeah, exactly, Sonny Rob. Sound is key in order for people to really want to watch your content or to continue gaining subscribers and things like that. If you take sound for granted, let me tell you something. People will click off of your video immediately if they can't hear or understand what you're saying. A person can hear and listen to what you're saying, and they don't even have to watch your video, right? They can just listen to what you're saying, because most of the time people aren't watching the video unless it's just something that like hands-on that they need to see how to do something, or it's like just a funny video and they want to see like the joke on it. But for most part, a lot of drivers are just, especially in the trucking industry, trucking space, a lot of drivers are just riding down the road listening. So what's more frustrating than anything is when a person can't hear a damn thing that you're saying because your audio is trash. All right, y'all got to get y'all audio together. Okay, do an audio check. First rule of engagement: turn your Bluetooth setting off. Okay, turn your Bluetooth setting off. Next rule of engagement is turn your phone to do not disturb, so then people don't have to be hearing notifications of you getting text messages, you getting Instagrams, you getting Facebooks. Don't nobody want to hear ding, 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 ding. It's really loud on the ears, right? So nobody wants to hear that. Guilty, I see you in the building, salute. Nobody wants to hear that, all right? And by the way, Guilty has the best sound quality on YouTube as far as in the trucking space, hands down. Sorry, he do. His sound quality is phenomenal. When he puts on his show, you can hear everything he is saying to the T. Like, you don't have to question it or anything. Good sound quality, and it's something that you can continue to listen to. You know what I mean? Because listening is key. A lot of people think it's all about how the graphics look or how the quality of the video looks. Wrong. Sound. People got to be able to hear you clearly. All right? They don't care about vision. It's about, can I hear what you're saying? Period. All right? So I need some of y'all to get that together, okay? Really do work on y'all sound, okay? Don't just turn on your phone and start talking and think that your sound is good. Get a sound check from your audience. Make sure your sound is good before you get to rambling. Because you'll be in your spiel 20 minutes and just now realize that your sound was trash, okay? Your sound was terrible, all right? But yeah, that's a couple of key things. A quick announcement before we get jumping here, okay? Yeah, that's a quick announcement. Now, I'm gonna take my shades off because we're gonna talk about when to hire company drivers onto a company if you're talking about building a fleet, or you have a truck or two and you want to put a company driver in there, all right? And you want to put a company driver in there. How to go about doing it. My best advice to y'all, pretty simple. Here it is. Here's the ultimate jewel. Do not consider putting a company driver in your truck unless, here we go, unless you are getting 100% of the freight bill. Did y'all hear me? Do not consider putting company drivers in your trucks or truck unless you are getting 100% of the freight bill. And I'm not talking about a person that's gonna say, oh, I get 100% of the freight bill from Prime if I'm on the logistics side, or if I'm pulling power only for, and my trucks are leased on, or even if you have your own authority and you pull in power only, you still not getting 100% of the freight bill. 100% of the freight bill means that, well, for lack of better words, means a direct customer, okay? If you don't have direct customers, it does not benefit you, okay? It does not benefit you, once again, to have company drivers, okay? The reason why I say that is this. How can you have a profit margin to the company if you're already getting cut? All right? If you're already getting cut. So, example would be on the logistics side with Prime, okay? You come on with your own authority, you get 77% after Prime's cut, okay? And after Prime's cut, well, Prime's cut of the 23% leaves you with 77%. That 23% may not sound like a lot right now. It's a lot, okay? It's a lot. Then once you're getting cut already, now you're factoring in, you have a company driver. What can you pay this company driver? Well, most company drivers want to make anywhere upward of 40 cents, 50, 55 cents, all right? That would be fine and dandy to pay them that if you were getting 100% of the bill, because that extra 23% would be your profits, okay, to the company, to your company. But if you're already getting cut because you're leased onto a carrier that's already cutting you, and now you have a company driver that you have to try to satisfy that driver's salary or cent per mile, you're going to come to find out that it is hard for you as a business to turn a profit. It just is. All right. I know some people are probably going to argue with me and say, well, there's other people that are making it work. And sure they are. I'm sure they are. Okay. But from my experience of me having company drivers, and my drivers can attest to this, when they were company drivers, they were paid damn good. Okay. And the amount that I felt like I was paying them at the time, I felt like, damn it, they worth it. Okay, they're worth it. They work hard, and it was above, a little bit above average of what the national average is for drivers to be paying a company driver. But then the more I started to sit back and I look at it and I analyzed it, because once again, I study trucking. Like, I study it like it's a course, okay? I truly do. I sit back and I think, I was looking, I said, the places that have company drivers are carriers or companies that have direct contracts, like direct shippers. They getting 100% of the freight bill from that shipper. They not dealing with no broker. They not dealing with no agent. They ain't getting it nowhere else. They have direct. What's up, Frenchie and Red? I see you on the building. They got direct shipper, 100% of the bill. So even if they wanted to say, listen, we're going to pay our company drivers 45, 50, 55 cents a mile, okay, they can do that, right? Because they're not getting cut, they're getting 100% of it. But once you are getting cut from it, you can't offer that same amount of money to your company drivers. Essentially, you're going to have to knock it down to where you're giving them CR England money. Okay, no shots at CR England, but it's going to get down to where the only way that you can be profitable as a company is to cut their wages, which would mean that giving them a lower cent per mile as a company driver. Or in my instance, if you had them on salary, you would damn near have to give them $1,000 salary before taxes, just in order for you as a business to be able to be profitable. Okay, and there's a lot more things that come with just that. Okay, when you're leased onto a carrier, you're not getting 100% of the freight bill. Now you also have to factor in your employees are going to want health insurance that you're going to have to provide. You know what I mean? Not necessarily that as an employer that you have to pay for benefits, but you have to provide them. It would be best. Not saying you have to, but it would be best that you do provide them for them, okay? Not saying also that you as the employer has to pay for their benefits, all right? When I had company drivers, I didn't pay for the employees' benefits. I offered benefits, and the employees had the option to pay for the benefits, okay? Now, we got it at a group discount, but it was funneled down to them where they had to pay for their insurance 100%, all right? Through payroll deductions. So we would still deduct it, pay the insurance forward, but we wasn't large enough of a company to be like, hey, we'll pay half or portion of your health benefits. No, we're not. To be honest, we're a small carrier. or a small company, so we can't offer that. I'm not gonna say carrier because we don't have our DOT numbers or MC numbers yet, not until January. So we couldn't offer to do that, all right? But that's something else that you're gonna have to factor in. Another thing that people are not factoring in is payroll taxes, all right? Payroll taxes means that you have to pay half of your employees' Social Security, Medicare, FICA, and on top of that, you have to provide unemployment insurance, where you have to pay into that unemployment insurance as a employer, okay? The employee doesn't pay into unemployment insurance, you do, okay? Well, at least I know that's how it works with the state of North Carolina. Now, I don't know if that's state specific, but with North Carolina, I had to pay unemployment insurance for the employees that I had, all right? So now we're talking about half of their Social Security, half of their Medicaid, Medicare, half of their FICA. I had to pay unemployment insurance, okay? Then on top of that, I had to pay taxes on the business, on whatever type of profit the business made. You see what I'm saying? So when people think about like companies and they feel like companies are ripping the drivers off, I tell people now from what I see, a lot of people don't understand like what the company, the back office stuff that the company has to take on. You know what I'm saying? Has to take on and has to endure. Not to mention, now you're trying to satisfy your drivers and give them a competitive wage with everybody else, but you can't give them that competitive wage if you are already getting cut because you don't have 100% of the freight bill because it's not your direct customer. All right? So if you don't have a direct customer or it's not your direct shipper, I do not suggest have company drivers yet until you lock down a direct shipper contract. Until you lock down a direct shipper contract. Because what ended up happening with me is I offered my drivers a above market value to be company drivers. Well, at the time being, once again, I tell you, I built my company out the mud. Like literally, I didn't have nobody walk me through this. Like nobody sat down and told me, hey, Lo, listen, this ain't, you know, if you get company drivers, you're gonna have this, and this. That's gonna happen. All right, and then you're gonna need to watch for this, and this. Now, I've had people that have advised me on what to pay or suggest what pay should be for the company drivers, but then I looked at it like, if I was a company driver and I was to offer that amount of money, I wouldn't even work for me. You know what I'm saying? So how, if I wouldn't work for me off of the suggested wages, how can I expect anybody else to want to work here? Especially with the criteria that it takes to get on through the authority that we use, which is RST. You have to have 2 years. I can't expect somebody with 2 years to want to make 40, 45, 46 cents a mile. I can't expect that. You know what I mean? I cannot expect that. Most of the time, 2 years of experience, they want to start clocking the 47s. They want to start damn near knocking at the door of 50, 51, 52. You know what I mean? They're not trying to hear 45, 40 cents. Why? And then when I look at it, it's like, why would they want to come and join me? And I say that I could offer you 45 cents a mile when they could take their asses to Prime or to another mega carrier. For instance, I'm gonna use Prime as an example because I know Prime's numbers. You can take your ass to Prime, be a company driver at Prime, come in the door making 47, 48, 49 cents a mile. With incentives, you know what I mean? Where for company drivers, you know, you get incentives and things like that, and they can even, and the door can also be open for them to train there and make more money. That stuff I can't offer. So if I can't offer that, I can't offer lower wages than what they're gonna offer. All right. And a lot of people that I see on social media or even companies out here that are either pulling freight off the spot market trying to have company drivers, that is another bad idea. Another bad idea. I see you down there 50 cents now for lightweights. Exactly. And you'll be surprised how many people don't want to go and get their asses in a lightweight because of the look of the truck. And to me, it's kind of like, if you just now getting into trucking, or you in trucking to get money, I'm going for the 50-cent lightweight. I don't care because it's small truck. I'm getting bread. I'm getting to the money. I'm getting to the bag. Like I talked about in my video, what day was that? Monday. A lot of people do a lot of things for nostalgia purposes and nostalgia reasons. Like they want to try to show off, or they don't want to look like the laughing stock. But be that laughing stock, because you the one laughing to the bank. You know what I mean? You the one that's providing for your family. You the one that's stacking back money. So, I mean, that stuff is kind of crazy to me, how much in this trucking industry you have so many drivers that do things for nostalgia reasoning, and that's it. They don't do it for the sake of what makes sense, what makes more money. And I don't get that. But what was going on with me when I had company drivers is, now I'm paying my drivers above fair market wage. I can't drop it down any lower, because if I drop it down any lower, then Prime becomes like a competitor, or I become the same as any other carrier, mega carrier out here. And at that point in time, if I become the same as them, then I might as well put you in the best direction and best interest for you and say, hey, listen, you need to go over there and get the money. I mean, it's better than what I probably could offer you. They probably could offer you incentives, bonuses, all kinds of other nice things. You know what I mean? I can offer you nice trucks. I can put you in a nice truck. But then see what ended up happening is, with me trying to stay competitive, okay, it ended up hurting me as a company, okay, because now I'm paying above market pricing, but at the same time, I'm not making the same type of money as the mega carriers are that are offering that 45, 47, 50 cents. All right, they got the one key thing that I didn't have, or two key things that I didn't have. All right, that they was holding over me. They have their direct customers. Those customers are theirs, and on top of that, they're getting a cut from it. And I'm already getting cut, but yet I'm trying to compete or outdo them as far as a competitive salary or competitive pay. And guess what it's doing to me? Drowning me. It's bringing me down. Because how can you compete with that when you're already getting cut and it's not your customer and you're not getting 100% of the freight? It's not going to work out. Now, I know, like I said, some people are going to say that they're doing fine at it. If they are, kudos to them. I don't know. I mean, I did it for a year of having company drivers, and I damn near lost my business. Like, on some real shit, I damn near lost my business by having everybody set up as a company driver, because everybody was making money. Like, all of the money that was coming in was basically in the driver's pockets, and nothing was in the company's pockets. The company wasn't profiting anything. Like, for the most part, it was a struggle. At times, I'm going into my own account to make sure payroll gets done. You know what I'm saying? And it's not supposed to kind of like be that way. You understand what I'm saying? It's not supposed to be that way. It's not supposed to be where I'm taking my own personal money and having to dump it here because there's nothing being shown. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not getting 100% of the bill. But yet I have company drivers, and I'm paying these company drivers above what the mega carriers are paying the people who have the direct contract. The ones who are getting the full dollar amount. When it gets trickled down to me, I'm trying to compete with them, and I'm only getting 77%. See, that shit don't make sense. But seeing what I've seen from doing it for a year, the only time that it makes sense to have a company driver, if you're looking at putting drivers in your truck, if you don't have a direct customer that you're pulling that freight out of or freight from, I wouldn't suggest having company drivers. I would suggest you probably leasing that truck out to that individual, you getting a percentage of whatever they gross to the truck, and then they getting cut out the rest. Similar to that, that's actually exactly how I do my business now. I don't have company drivers no more. I have lease operators, and that's how it goes. And what's good about it right now is that my drivers that are with me right now that are contractors, we ain't doing nothing. What's going on, Be Smooth? I see you in the building. We ain't doing nothing but getting prepared for January when I have my authority. You know what I'm saying? So And I know they looking at certain deductions, be like, man, that's high, that's high. And I tell my drivers all the time, listen, I know it's high right now, but trust me, just trust me. Come January, a lot of this stuff is going to be cheaper. All right, a lot of this stuff is going to be cheaper, and there's certain things that I will be able to offer that I can't offer right now. You know what I'm saying? So the ones that stick with me through it right now, in these stages of when, with them leasing right now with me, being on with RST, they're going to be rewarded come January, because a lot of weight that they are feeling right now probably will come off their shoulders, and I appreciate them for that. So, and another thing too is right now they're getting themselves prepared so that when we do make the transition to getting our own authority, it'll be a easy transition. You know what I mean? Especially for the drivers that are in the trucks they have right now. It'll be an easy transition because they've been doing it. You know what I mean? They've been leasing already. They've been listening to the jewels that I break down or I drop. Hold on, let's see what this is. Come on, man. I swear this people net is terrible. It's so slow. Come on, man. This thing is... Alright. There we go. This people net is so slow, man. I swear to God. This thing, man, I've worked with Qualcomm and PeopleNet now, and I do not like PeopleNet. I don't. I actually need to go and get this load. Let me see. Where is that? Alright. I was on my break. Is it back yet? Okay, it's back yet. Alright, it is back. Alright, so man, I wanna continue hollering at you guys, for sure. I know I gotta go pick up this lower here real quick. I'm about to bobtail about 30 minutes to go get this load. I gotta bring it back here to the rail yard. Yeah, listen, I want to answer some of y'all questions, and I know people have questions. What I'll do is I'll come back on here live probably a little later on today, so probably about another couple more hours. Any questions that y'all have pertaining to this video, make sure that y'all leave it in the comment section, or either come back in about 3 hours, let me knock out some more work, and then we will continue on with this, and I'll do part 2 as far as the Q&A to questions that you guys may have pertaining to, like, as far as company drivers, if you're thinking about putting a company driver or getting a company driver and putting it in your own truck. Alright, I appreciate every last one of y'all for rocking out with me, and I'll catch y'all later on. Give me about 3 hours. Alright, about 3 hours. So what time is it now? Eastern Standard Time, 103. Give me to about 4 o'clock. I'll be back, rock out with y'all. Alright, appreciate y'all being in here. Salute. Catch y'all later on.